Hi guys, and welcome to my 17 and 18 week pregnancy update. I'm actually 19 weeks 3 days today. This is a little bit later than I usually do them, but I'm only going to talk about symptoms that I had during weeks 17 and 18, so let's get into it. This week baby is the size of a slingshot, which was kind of weird. A bell pepper is what the other websites usually say for this week. And so that's 5.6 inches long and a little bit under 7 ounces. So creeping up towards that half a pound mark. And this week for baby, their teeth are starting to form, the little tooth buds inside their head. And they're also moving around a lot more, which I have definitely been noticing. And baby is also starting to yawn and hiccup, which is the cutest. I remember feeling little hiccups with Lincoln, so I don't think I'll be able to feel those yet, but that'll be fun to feel them when I can. And as far as mama goes, I have been having, last time I talked a little bit about dry skin. It's been this weird combination of dry skin and acne that's been really annoying, but I can't really do much about it because it just changes depending on the day. Like one day my skin will be drier and then the next day I'll have another breakout, and then it just keeps going back and forth, and it's really annoying. I also had very vivid dreams the last few weeks, and I think some of that is anxious energy heading towards our anatomy scan next week, so I'm definitely looking forward to that, but also having some weird sleeping issues around that, so hopefully it comes fast and everything will be fine. Definitely I had increased appetite the last few weeks. I'm starting to snack more, like my body is telling me to eat more food, which is fine, but I would really like to not gain as much weight as I did with Lincoln, because that puts you at a higher risk for things like prolapse, which I already have from him, and I really want to minimize that getting worse. So I'm trying to stay in that 25 to 35 pound range this time. We'll see if I can do that, but that's the goal. I was in kind of a lot of pain the last couple weeks. I stepped really weird, stepping over Lincoln's toys, and it felt like I pulled a muscle like in my pelvis when I stepped weird. Basically anytime I put weight on my left leg, it just hurts. And when I googled it, symphysis pubis dysfunction was what was coming up, but it didn't really, like, the people that I had heard who had it before said that it felt kind of like a grating feeling, and it did not feel like that to me at all. It just felt like a muscle that got pulled weird or something, but it lasted for quite a while, and like the whole 2 weeks basically, and it still crops up every once in a while. So trying to take it easy, and my friend in med school, not officially obviously, but I talked to her and she said it did sound like symphysis pubis dysfunction, and she gave me some exercises to do where like Matt puts his arm in between my legs and I push in on it for a few seconds and do that a few times, and then you do the opposite. He holds my legs together and I push out against his hands, and that did help it get better. So that makes it seem more like it was SPD, but I really don't know. I've been also having a lot of hip and back pain the last few weeks. I think I just need to have better posture when I stand. When you're pregnant, it's really easy to just kind of let your belly hang in front of you, and then that does weird things to your back. So I'm going to focus in the next couple weeks about when I'm standing, especially, to kind of use my abdomen muscles more while I'm standing to help hold up my belly instead of having my back do all the work, and hopefully that will help my back pain. Couple things are happening that make me already feel like I'm in my 3rd trimester, which is ridiculous. I mean, I'm not, but it kind of feels like it. I get out of breath when I squat. So like if I'm squatting down to help Lincoln, I can really feel that like everything is squished up and that my lungs don't have as much room as they usually do. So that's been a bummer, but that's really the only situation that I've noticed it so far is when I'm squatting, so that's good. Except now, apparently. And there's just been so much movement the last couple weeks. It's been incredible. Like with Lincoln, I know I was feeling movement at this point, but it was not nearly this much. And Matt has even been able to feel the movement from the outside, which also definitely was not happening nearly this early with Lincoln. So that just makes it feel like things are further along than they actually are, because the movement has progressed so much. I mean, I can lay on the couch in the nighttime and feel consistent movement for 15-20 minutes and then go to bed and then feel a lot more when I go to bed. So it's been cool, especially for Matt to get to go ahead and feel the baby move, because I know with Lincoln it was a long time. Like, I would say, okay, put your hand here, see if you can feel anything. And we did that a lot of times before he finally actually got to feel something. And with this baby, the first time I told him to try, he actually laid his head on my belly and he did kind of hear something. And then the next time he tried, he put his hand on my belly and he did feel it. So that was pretty crazy for him to actually be able to feel it so soon. And I love that. That was so fun. So that's all the symptoms for this week. Let's take a look at the bump. I really feel like it kind of popped this week. Like, my belly button got a lot more stretched out this week and is already kind of sticking out a little bit. And more people commented this week on my belly than before. But it does really depend on what clothes I'm wearing. Like, if I just stretch the shirt down like it normally hangs, it's hidden a lot better. But if I wear a tight shirt like this, then you can totally tell.